Yeah, children, the answers to the 3 questions, I'll share it on WhatsApp later. There's the next one. If SP and loss percent is given to you, find the CP. Surya, tell me the formula to find the CP when SP and loss percent is given. CP is equal to? Yeah, who can tell me online?
CP is equal to
Yeah.
100 by 100 minus loss percent into selling price.
Very good. So let's substitute 100 by 100 minus 4 into 657 point. You can take away the 0. You can just write the 657.6. So calculate this and tell me, children. Work this and tell me the answer. You can write 657.6 as 6,576 by 10. Shift the decimal point. Yeah, work this. Answer.
Ma'am, it is 685.
Very good. 685. So tell me how you simplified, Surya. Quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
0 and 0, then?
Ma'am, 0 and 0.
Yeah, faster. Yeah.
And 65760 by 96.
Okay.
So we get 685.
Okay, you didn't simplify, meaning you didn't cancel, is it? Okay, fine. All right, 685 is the right answer, children. Please simplify. The cost price CP is equal to 685 rupees. Next one. Selling price of radio. Right? Yes. Rupees 3120 and loss is 4%. 1 second, what was this about? Okay, no, not this one, sorry. So the formula is SP is equal to, how do we find the selling price?
100 minus half by 100.
100?
minus loss.
Where is it loss here? It's profit percent.
100 plus profit
Profit percent by
100.
into CP. Yeah, work this. You can take 10.5 as 10.5. Yeah, what's the answer?
The selling price is rupees 9,282.
Correct. 9,282. Correct. Next one. Yeah, you will have to fill in the blanks for me.
Minus 195.
195. Correct.
Can I say the profit percent?
Yeah, tell me.
I'm at 6%. I got it as 6%.
6%. Correct. Zeros you can cancel, then 5 twos are 5 6 are 30, 2 remains, 5 fives are. Then again 5 13 times, 5 threes are 15, 5 nines are 45, 13 ones are 13 threes are, 3 twos are 6%.
Ma'am, just please excuse me for 2 minutes, ma'am.
Okay. Find the CP and tell me. Using SP and loss percentage, find the CP and let me know what you get. Okay, so at first, SP, Priya sells her bag. So selling price and loss percent is given. Using that, you can find the CP of the bag. Now using the CP, which we find 1,000 rupees and the desired gain 25%. The question is at what price must she sell her bag? So you should find the selling price. If she must gain 25%. So the desired gain is 25%. We found the CP of the bag 1,000. So now using the CP and gain percent, you should find the SP. First, what is given? First, the selling price of the bag is given. First, the selling price of the bag is given and the loss percent is given. So using this, you should find the CP of the bag. Now, use this CP and the desired gain percent, 25%, to find the selling price of the bag. So she must sell the bag at 1,250 in order to gain 25%. Finish writing. One second. So 2 horses for 30,000 each. And it is a man sold. So the selling price of 1 horse, SP of 1 horse, is rupees 30,000 because 30,000 each. So SP of 1 horse is 30,000 and the profit is 3%. Please work and tell me the cost price of this horse. Yeah, let me see who's the first to finish and share the correct answer. It's very simple, just using the formula, substituting the values and calculating. Not at all difficult.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
ma'am, is it 30,900?
30,100, huh?
900, ma'am.
900, okay, let's see.
Ma'am, for the first one, I am getting 29,100, ma'am.
29,000, okay. So you can decide who's, meaning the selling, in case of a profit, should the cost price be less than or more than the selling price? In case of a profit, should the cost price be less than the selling price or more than the selling price?
Less than the selling price, ma'am.
Yeah. So when it's a profit, the cost price must be less than the selling price. So Gayatri, if you got more than 30,000, I think you must check your calculation.
Ma'am, I got the answer as 10,000.
10,000.
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Ma'am, for the second one, I'm getting 28,500, ma'am.
Yeah, what about the others? This one is not exactly divisible. So how did you get whatever you told me, Shreya?
I didn't do this method, ma'am. I did SP minus profit is equal to CP that way.
Ma'am, I actually got it in decimal values.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
I got it as something 29,126.2.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, correct. But we don't have to find the decimal value here. I'll tell you. You can write it. See, okay, now that you found it, you can tell me what is that? You got Saujanya?
29,126.
120?
6, ma'am.
6.21.
2, 1, I think. Yes, ma'am, 2, 1.
Okay, let me check using the calculator. What is that, Shreya? Very confidently you're saying that I use a different formula. What is that, huh? See, finding CP when SP and profit percent is given us only this formula. What is it? Or the other formula we've used? The profit is not given in terms of rupees. To use the other formula, profit is given as a percentage. So this is the formula you have to use. Shreya, I think you're confused between, not confused, you're not, okay, I don't know, that you have to tell me. Finding CP given SP and profit in rupees is different from finding CP given SP and profit as a percentage. To find SP, you'll be given CP and profit in rupees or CP and profit in percentage.
Ma'am, it probably because I didn't attend the last class, ma'am. That's why I think.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, right. So this is different. Here, what is CP? CP will be, that is finding SP. SP is equal to CP plus profit. SP is equal to CP plus profit. When profit is given in terms of rupees, SP is equal to CP plus profit if profit is given in rupees. SP is equal to 100 plus profit percent by 100 into CP if CP and profit is given as a percentage. See, in both the cases, we are finding the selling price. We use this formula when we are given the cost price and profit in rupees. Then we find selling price like this, CP plus profit. If we are given CP and profit percentage, that is profit as a percentage, then we need to use this formula, 100 plus profit percent by 100 into CP.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, this decimal value is right, Saujanya, 29,126.21. Yeah. And in this case, CP again is equal to 100 by 100 plus profit percent into SP. Okay, this is a loss, I'm sorry. 100 minus loss. 100 by 100 minus 5 into 30,000. So 100 by 95 into 30,000. You can simplify 520 times 5 19s. It will be 6 followed by 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divided by 19. 6 followed by divided by 19. Yeah. Can anyone not tell me the decimal value? Okay, so now we'll have to find the overall profit or loss. So find the total CP, find the total SP, compare and find if it is a profit or loss and hence find the same.
Ma'am, I'm getting 31,578.947.
Yeah, even I've got the same thing. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So next step, total CP. Total CP is equal to 29126.21, 29126.21 plus 31578.94. 31578.94. Total SP is equal to 30,000 plus 30,000. Because he sends each for 30,000. So 30,000 plus 30,000. The total SP is 60,000. So you can see the total cost price is 60,705.15. But the selling price is less than that. The total selling price is 60,000. So clearly, cost price is greater than the selling price. If your cost price is greater than the selling price, it's a loss. Therefore, it is a loss. And what is a loss? Loss is equal to CP minus SP. CP is 60,705.15 minus 60,000, which is rupees 705.15. Okay, so let's see the steps again. So in the question, we have a man sold 2 horses for rupees 30,000 each. So we should, take care of that word each. Rupees 30,000 each. So selling price of 1 horse, 30,000. Why selling price? Because a man sold. A man sold. So it is selling price, not cost price. If a man bought or if a man purchased something, then it will be cost price. This is sold, so it is selling price. So selling price of 1 horse, 30,000. Selling price of the other horse, also 30,000. On selling 1 horse, he makes a profit of 3%. So you can see on the left side, profit 3%. And on selling the other horse, the loss incurred is 5%. Loss is 5%. So you can see that here, loss is 5%. So using selling price and profit percent in the first case and selling price and loss percent in the second case, you must find the CP of the horses. Given SP and profit percent, find CP. Given SP and loss percent, find the CP. So this is what we get. Now the question is, find this overall profit or loss. To find this overall profit or loss, we need to find the total cost price and the total selling price and compare the two. Find the total cost price, total selling price and compare the two. What is the total cost price? Cost price of the first horse plus the cost price of the second horse. That will be the total cost price. Cost price of the first horse plus the cost price of the second horse. So this is the total cost price. What is the total selling price? Selling price of the first horse plus the selling price of the second horse. That will be the total selling price. 30 plus 30 is 60,000. Now compare the cost price and the selling price. Clearly the cost price is greater. Cost price is greater than the selling price. selling price is less. That means it's a loss. You're selling for lesser money, so it's a loss. So CP is greater than SP, therefore it's a loss. And how do you find the loss? It's a difference between the cost price and selling price. CP minus SP. Loss is CP minus SP. If it was a profit, it will be SP minus CP. If it was a profit, then it will be SP minus CP. It's a loss, so it is CP minus SP. The total CP minus the total SP. See, so on the whole, it is a loss of 705 rupees 0.15. That is 705 rupees and 15 paise. On the whole, it is a loss. Though he sold the first horse at a profit, the second horse he sold at a loss. Even then, the overall on the entire transaction, it is a loss. Yeah, right on, children. All of you finished the first slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right on, children. All right. So the question is, Rohan buys 2 mobile phones for rupees 22,000. Not 22,000 each. He buys 2 phones for 22,000. That means the total money he spent to buy the 2 phones is 22,000. That doesn't mean that the cost of one phone is 11,000 and the cost of the other phone is 11,000. 2 mobile phones. So they can be different models. They need not be 2 identical mobile phones for which the price will be the same. You cannot assume that. Rohan buys 2 mobile phones. So you cannot divide 22,000 by 2 and say that the CP of each phone is 11,000. No, 2 mobile phones. So maybe different models. So you cannot divide the cost price by 2. So you don't know if the cost price of the first phone is 10,000, then the cost price of the second phone will be 22 minus 10,000, 12,000. If the cost price of the first phone is 15,000, the CP of the first phone is 15,000, then the cost price of the second phone will be 22 minus 15, 7,000. So we don't know. We cannot take the cost price of each phone as 11,000 rupees. That assumption we cannot make. Okay, so let us see, somebody's mic is enabled. Please disable your mic. So let's say the CP of the first phone, since we don't know the price of the 2 phones separately. So let the CP of the first phone be rupees X. Then the CP of the other phone, the second phone will be 22,000 minus X, because the total CP is 22,000. The total CP he buys means CP. Buys means cost price. So if the CP of one phone is X, the other phone will be the total 22,000 minus X. So now we know, we have assumed the CP of one phone is X, profit is 12%. He sells them. He sells the 2 phones. So on the first phone, the profit is 12%. Using the formula, find the selling price. Children, I've told you, you cannot cancel this 100 and this 100 because it's 100 plus 12. So you should add 112 and then you can simplify. 100 and 100 here you cannot cancel. In that case, you can cancel it in the formula itself, no? Then the formula, why should the formula be 100 plus profit percent by 100? Okay, so 100 plus 12 is 112 by 100 into x. Simplifying the tables of 4, so you get 28x by 25. 28 into x is 28x by 25. This is the selling price. This expression represents the SP of the first form. Now for the second form, CP is 22,000 minus x. Loss on selling the second phone is 10%. So the selling price formula 100 minus loss percent by 100 into CP. Substitute the values 100 minus 10 by 100 into 22,000 minus x. So 100 minus 10 is 90, 90 by 100. So the 0 and 0 gets cancelled. So we have 9 by 10. 9 by 10 into 22,000 minus x. 9 by 10 into 22,000 minus x. So now, if on the whole transaction there is no gain or loss, that means these 2 selling prices are equal. That means these 2 selling prices are equal. Can we say that? Can we assume that? Completely silent. You have to say something. When there is no profit or loss on the whole transaction, Rohan neither gains nor loses. So then what is the assumption? What do we understand from that?
It's neither loss nor profit.
Correct. Neither loss nor profit. Correct. That means which two things will be the same here?
Cost price and selling price.
Will the selling price of the two phones be the same? No, it will not be. Then what will be the same? So the profit incurred, the profit obtained on selling the first phone will be the same as the loss incurred on selling the second phone. See, if there is no profit or loss, that means whatever money he gains by selling the first phone, he loses that money when he sells the second phone. That's why no profit, no loss. See, he is gaining 12% from the first transaction, losing 10% on the second transaction. But overall, no profit, no loss. That means all the money he gets by all the money extra or the profit, I'm saying, the profit which he makes on selling the first phone, that profit which he gets on selling the first phone is equal to the loss he incurs on selling the second phone. So that money which he gets profit from the first one, no, he loses that the same thing on the second one. So this means that the gain from the first transaction is the same as the loss from the second transaction. So profit on the first transaction is equal to the gain. Profit on the first transaction is equal to the loss incurred on the second transaction. So equating these two, you can find the value of X, which will be the CP of the first one, and then you can subtract 22,000 minus X will be the CP of the second phone. So now how do you find the profit? %. We know that profit is always applied on the cost price. So profit is 12% of the CP. Profit on selling the first phone. Profit on selling the first phone is equal to 12% of the cost price. 12% of the cost price. Profit percentage is always applied on the cost price. So 12% means 12 by 100, off means into, and cost price is X. 4 3s are 12, 4 25 times, so rupees 3x by 25. The profit on selling the second phone, the loss incurred, the loss incurred on selling the second phone. Loss incurred on selling the second phone is equal to 10% of the CP. 10% of the CP. 10% means 10 by 100, off means into, and CP 22,000 minus X. So here 0 and 0 gets cancelled. So you have rupees 22,000 minus X by 10. So no profit, no loss means clearly or according to the question? According to the question. Profit on the first phone is equal to the loss, is equal to the loss on the second phone. Yeah, work these two. This is now linear equations. Linear equation, solve and tell me the value of x. Please solve this equation and tell me the value of x. So what do you get on cross multiplying? 3x into 10. 3x into 10 is equal to 25 into 22,000 minus x. So 30x is equal to multiply 25 into 22. 500, 550. 550. 1, 2, 3 minus 25x. You need to multiply 25 with 22,000 and 25 with minus x also. 25 into 22,000 is 55 followed by 4 zeros. And 25 into x is 25x. Cross multiply. 3x into 10 is equal to 25 into 22,000 minus x. Cross multiplying. Yeah, now to find the value of x. Solve and tell me the value of x. Oh, children, I'm not happy. Huh? Does it take this long to solve? On transposing, we get 30x plus 25x. You work it here. 30x plus 25x is equal to 55 followed by 4 zeros. So 55x. 55x is equal to 55 followed by 4 zeros. X is equal to 55 followed by 4 zeros divided by 55. X is equal to 1 followed by 4 zeros, 10,000. So that means the cost price of one mobile phone is 10,000 and the other mobile phone is 22 minus 10,000, 12,000. Why you were not able to solve, is it, children? You just have to gather the x terms on one side. You need to finish your answer like this. Therefore, CP of first phone is equal to, I have not written that, please write. CP of the first phone is 10,000 because X. Then CP of the second phone is 22 minus X. 22,000 minus X. So 22,000 minus 10,000, which is 12,000. Done writing, children?
Yes, ma'am.
We've been finding SP everywhere, no? So by mistake here also I found the SP. You don't need the SP for this case actually. We've been, it's a mistake. We've been finding SP all the while. So I think blindly I just found the SP. You don't need the SP here. We just cancel out these things. You don't need the SP for this. You don't need to find the SP for this question. You just have to find the profit. So let the CP of one phone be X. The other phone is 22,000 minus X. Profit 12%, loss 10%. He neither gains nor loses. That means whatever he gets as profit from selling the first phone, he loses the same amount on selling the second phone. That's why no profit, no loss. When he sells the first phone, he's happy that he's made some extra money. But that same money, that money which he gets as profit from the first phone, exactly the same value he loses when he sells the second phone. What comes in goes out. That's why he neither gains nor loses in the whole transaction. He gets money when he sells the first phone. He loses money when he sells the second phone. But on the whole, he doesn't gain or lose anything. On the whole, that is putting both the transactions together. When you see the transactions individually, yes, he gains. He gets money. He gets some extra money when he sells the first phone, and he loses some money when he sells the second phone. He does make a profit on the first phone. He does incur a loss when he sells the second phone. But when you consider the whole transaction, that is both the transactions together, then he neither gains nor loses. That means nothing has gone out of his pocket. Which means the profit on the first one is equal to the loss on the second one. Yeah. So CP is X, profit 12%. Then CP is 22,000 minus X, loss is 10%. So find the profit and loss. Find the profit on selling the first phone, which is 12% off the CP. Find the loss on selling the second phone, which is 10% off the CP, always on the CP. So you found the profit and the loss alone, not SP, just the profit margin and the loss portion. Now in this question, according to this question, the profit is equal to the loss. What he gets from the first phone, he loses on the second phone. So on equating this and solving for X, we get 10,000. And 10,000 is what the CP of the first phone. So the CP of the second phone is 22,000 minus 10,000, which is 12,000. I have not written that. You need to complete it. You must write, therefore, CP of the first phone, 10,000. Second phone, 22 minus 10, 12,000. Next question. Yeah. Previous one. Or just 10. So I'll just tell you the flow of the answer for this one, children. You have to do it. So Yash bought 2 music players for rupees 44,500. So again, you don't see the word each. The word each is not there. If it was he bought 2 music players for rupees 44,500 each, then the CP of one music player is 44,500 and the CP of the other music player is also 44,500. Because 44,500 each. And it is cost price because he bought. He's not selling, he bought. So it's cost price. But here it is given he bought 2 music players together for 44,500. 44,500 is the cost price of both the music players, and you cannot divide it by 2, assuming that both of them are identical music players. Again, they can be of different variants, different models, right? So you cannot assume that. So you say let the CP of one music player be. I hope you got the difference, children. When it is each, have we taken? Yeah, see here. A man sold 2 horses for rupees 30,000 each. This means SP of one horse is 30,000. SP of the other horse is also 30,000 because 30,000 each. Whereas here, 2 music players purchased for 44,500. That's it. Now we don't have the word. There's no word each here. And it is bought, so cost price. So say let the CP, let the cost price of the first music player, let the cost price of the first music player be rupees X or Y, whatever. Therefore, the cost price of the second music player is equal to rupees 44,500 minus X. Now on one profit is 10%, on the other loss is 10%. And what is given if the selling price of both the music players is the same? So we should find the SP. You must find the SP, not the profit or the loss portions. It's given that the selling price of the 2 music players is the same. So find the selling price of the first music player, find the selling price of the second music player, and equate both. Because they're the same. SP of the first music player is equal to the SP of the second music player. So on equating that, you will be solving for X. And you'll be able to find the value of X. With that, you can find the CP of the 2 music players. Yeah, do that, children. Yes, children, I'll come back in 5 minutes. Please try this. Yeah, you got this?
100.
Sorry,
100.
100?
Maximum 100. Maximum 100.
Oh, you want, okay, well, let me see. This is,
11.
yeah. So on substituting the values, 100 plus 10 is 110 by 102x. 0, 0 cancels, so 11x by 10. This is the selling price of the first music player. Now the selling price of the second music player. 100 minus loss 10% by 100 into 44,500 minus x. So there will be 90 by 100 into 44,500 minus x. Yeah, 0, 0 cancels. So now multiply now. It's 9 into 44,500 minus x by 10. So 9 into 44,500. Minus 9 into x. You need to multiply 9 with 44,500 and 9 with x. So minus 9x by 10. So this is the selling price of the second music player. This is the selling price of the second music player. So it's given that SP of the first music player, I just write first player, is equal to the selling price of the second music player. This is given to us in the question. So what is that? We got selling price of the first music player 11x by 10. So 11x by 10 is equal to 4,500,000 minus 9x by 10. Now 10 on either side gets cancelled. 10 on either sides gets cancelled. So 11x minus x minus 9x on the other side plus 9x is equal to 400, 500. So 20x is equal to 4,500,000. So x is equal to 4,500,000 divided by 20, 0, 0. X is equal to 2 2s are 0, 0, 2 2s are 5. 20,025. This is the CP of the first music player. X. The CP of the second music player is 44,500 minus X. So you can complete that. Therefore, CP of the first music player is 20,025 rupees. Second music player will be 44,500 minus 20,025. 20,025. Find that.
And the CP of the second music player will be rupees 24,475.
Yeah, one second. How much is it? Come again?
24,475.
Yeah, correct. Good. Done, children? Please write down, I'll explain. We'll work it and then I'll explain. Online children, use the emoji, raise your hand. Gayatri, Surya, Lakshana, Ariston, Saujanya. Yarni, very good. Thank you, children. Yeah. Now, let's understand the difference between compound interest and simple interest using this question. Now, here we have taken the principal value as 10,000, rate 10%, and time period 3 years. We're trying to calculate the simple interest on 10,000 at 10% for 3 years and calculate the compound interest on 10,000 at 10% for 3 years. For 10,000 rupees at 10% for 3 years, we are calculating the simple interest and the compound interest. Okay, let's see if the two interests are the same or if one is more than the other. Now, how do we calculate simple interest? So in simple, to work it in a very simple way, the interest for 1 year is whatever percentage it is, Now here 10%, right? So 10% of 10,000. This is the interest for 1 year, children. That's all it is. When you're calculating simple interest, what is the principal? 10,000 rupees. What's the rate of interest? 10%. So simple interest is just this. Simple interest is 10% of 10,000 rupees, whatever is the principal. This is the rate. And this is the principal value. Find 10% of 10,000. That only is the interest, simple interest for 1 year. For 1 year. This is the simple interest for 1 year. So that means 10% is 10 by 100. Off is into 10,000. So 2 zeros here, 2 zeros here cancel. So we get rupees 100 into 10,000. So this is the interest for 1 year. For 1 year. Now, if you want to find the interest for 5 years, it will be 1,000 into 5. Every year the interest is 1,000 rupees. So for 2 years, 1,000 plus 1,000, 2,000. For 3 years, 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000, 3,000. 10 years, 10,000. 20 years, 20,000. Which means the simple interest is fixed. Whatever is the simple interest for the first year, the same will be the interest for the years to follow. In the case of simple interest, whatever is the interest value for the first year, the same will be the interest for the remaining years to come. If the time period is 5 years, for all of the 5 years, at the end of every year, the interest credited will be 1,000 rupees. That's how simple interest works. Find the simple interest for 1 year. Simple interest for 1 year will be 10% of the principal value. So 10 by 100 into 10,000. Simplify, we get 1,000 rupees. This is the interest for the first year. The same will be the interest for the second year, the same for the third year, the same for the fourth year. That is, interest is not given on the interest. Actually, what happens at the end of the first year, supposing you have put this money in the bank, supposing you have invested 10,000 rupees in the bank, which gives you 10% rate of interest per year, per annum. So this is the interest you will get at the end of the year. At the end of the year, say on Jan 1st, 2023, you have deposited 10,000 in a bank, which gives you 10% rate of interest per annum. So when you visit the bank on 31st December 2023, the balance in our account will be 10,000 plus the interest of 1,000 rupees, which is credited. Because you have kept your money in the bank. That is not bank's money, that's your money. You have kept your money in the bank. So the bank is using your money to give loan to its customers. The bank will use your money to give loan to the customers. Or for whatever activity, the bank will use your money. So they'll give you interest. The bank pays interest to you for using your money. So 10,000 is your money. You keep it in the bank for 1 year. The bank pays you an interest of 10% every year, which means when you go to the bank at the end of this year, so 31st December 2023, your principal money of 10,000 is there in your account. You will see an extra 1,000 rupees in your account. That is an interest which is credited. So actually on 1st January 2024, the money in your bank is 11,000. But in the case of simple interest, the interest for the second year will not be given on 11,000. It will be calculated on 10,000 only. That is, interest is not given for your interest. Interest is, in the case of simple interest is given only for the principal value. It's not given for the interest. For the interest which is accumulated, interest is not given. Everywhere interest is compound interest only, children. It's not simple interest. This is just, this is one kind of interest, but in the banks, it is not simple interest, because then in that case, you can withdraw the money from the bank and redeposit, right? Why will you keep your money in the bank? If the bank is not going to give you interest for 1,000 rupees, what will you do? You will withdraw the money from the bank. You will withdraw 11,000 from the bank and you will deposit it again. Then it will give you interest on 11,000, no? So this is not a practical situation. This is just this is one kind of interest. When it is simple interest, this is how interest is calculated. When it is simple interest, this is how it is calculated. So simple interest for the first year is 1,000 rupees. So for all the 10 years, supposing you keep the money for 10 years, every year the interest is only 1,000. That is, interest is calculated only on 10,000, the principal value. So in this example where we have taken 3 years, interest for 1 year is 1,000. So for 3 years will be 1,000 into 3. 3,000 rupees. That's what we got here using the formula PTR by 100. This is the formula we use to find the simple interest. Principal into time into rate by 100. Principal is 10,000. Time is 3 years. Rate is 10% by 100. So when you work this, you get 3,000 rupees. See, actually, you're finding what? See, 10% of 10,000 and you're multiplying by 3. Can you see that here? You're finding 10%. 10 by 100. Can you see 10 by 100? 10% of 10,000 into 10,000. And that answer you're multiplying by 3 to get for 3 years. And that's the formula, PTR by 100. So this is the interest for 3 years. So under simple interest is not given for the interest accumulated. Interest is given only on the principal value. But compound interest does not work like that. This is the very practical kind of interest that happens in the banks. So compound interest is you get interest for all the money you have in the bank. Whatever is your money in the bank, for all that you get interest. So how do we calculate this? This is not using the formula. We've worked this without using the formula. We have a formula to find the compound interest. We'll see that in the next class. So here, see, the principal is 10,000, time 1 year, rate 10%. So find the interest for the first year. Same formula, PTR by 100. PTR by 100, so you get 1,000 rupees. So this is the interest for the first year. So what will be the money? What will be your money in the bank at the end of that year? 10,000, your principal value, plus 1,000 rupees interest which the bank has given you. So your money at the end of the year is 11,000. So for the second year, interest should be calculated on your total money in the bank. Now this 1,000 rupees is your money. You deposited only 10,000, but at the end of the year, the interest in your account is 1,000. So now 10,000 plus 1,000, 11,000 is your money. So the bank has to give you interest on 11,000, not on 10,000, because 11,000 is your money now at the end of the year. So the amount is 11,000. This is taken as the principal for the second year. 11,000 is taken as the principal for the second year. Now calculate the interest for the second year. Don't take time as 2. You're calculating the interest for the second year. Second year is only 1 year. It's not for 2 years. It is interest for the second year, that year alone. So principal is 11,000 into time 1 year, rate 10% by 100. So see here, the interest which you get for the second year is slightly more than what you got for the first year. Because for the first year, the principal was 10,000. But for the second year, the principal is 11,000. So you get a little more interest. Now, when you visit the bank at the end of the second year, so at the end of 2024, when you visit the bank, in your account, you will see 11,000, which was there at the beginning of the year, and this interest of 1,100. So you will see 12100. You will see 12,100 rupees in your account. You will see 12,100 rupees in your account. So this will be taken as the principal for the third year, because this is your money. Now this interest is your money. So at the beginning of the third year, this is the principal. This is the money in your account, 12,100. This is the principal money in your account at the beginning of the third year. Interest for the third year, PTR by 100, principal is 12,100, time is 1 year, because for the third year, for that 1 year, into 10% by 100. So when you work this, you get 1,210. So now what are let's calculate only the interest values we have got. We got 1,000 rupees for the first year, and then we got 1,100 for the second year, 1,210 for the third year. So the total interest under compound interest, the total interest alone, the interest portion alone, under compound interest, the interest portion alone is 1,000 for the first year, 1,100 for the second year, 1,210 for the third year. Yes, the interest should keep increasing every year. The rate of interest is not increasing. Rate of interest is 10% only. But the value of money, the value which is given as interest will increase because your principal money is going on increasing every year. Initially, it was 10,000. Then your money is 11,000. Then your money is 12,100. The rate of interest is the same, but the interest value will keep increasing because your principal value increases every year. So the compound interest which you get for 3 years is 3,310. The compound interest for the compound interest alone, I'm saying, is 3,310. But what is the simple interest we got for 3 years? 3,000. The simple interest is only 3,000. But the compound interest is 3,310. So compound interest is more than simple interest because in simple interest, the principal money interest is given only for the principal money. Interest is not given for the interest which is accumulated in your account. But under compound interest, interest is given for the entire money which is accumulated in your account. That is, interest is given for the principal and the interest which is there in your account. So under the same circumstances, that is, for the same principal, time and rate, compound interest is always more than the simple interest. For the same principal, time and rate, compound interest is always greater than the simple interest. In simple interest, you don't get interest for the interest accumulated in the account. But for compound interest, you get interest for the principal money and the interest in your account. So compound interest is always more than simple interest. All right, children. So that's it for today's session. The answers for case study based questions on volumes and surface areas, I'll share it on WhatsApp. I just meaning it just occurred to me that we were supposed to discuss that. And you know, one more thing is nobody reminds me about that. As soon as I started the session today, you should have reminded me, or sometime in the middle at least. Now towards the end, I just remembered that, you know, we have to discuss the answers to the case study based questions which I shared at homework. All right, I'll share it on WhatsApp, children. Please take your answers. So that's it for today's session. Thank you so much. Good night. You may leave the call.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, children.